Hello, everyone. Welcome to a weekend bonus content extravaganza spectacular Vampire Survivors plus content. I don't know. I'm running out of things to say. As I am recording this, it is Thursday. It is Thanksgiving. So I hope your Thanksgiving is going well. I hope your day and your week has been good. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Dairy plant? Do we? We can try to go ahead and do dairy plant. Let's go. Let's see. Um, I don't propose this will be easy, as I have things to collect, as well as I don't think my character's strong enough yet for dairy plant, as far as like the augmentations or purchasing the upgrades. I don't want any of those. Maybe Clock Lancet. We'll get garlic. I'm not actually a huge fan of grabbing the garlic. But in that scenario, I felt garlic was going to do the most for me. So yeah, I hope your week is going well. Mine has been great. I'm taking today off from streaming, gonna spend it, but I do need to record this in general because I've put it off. I should have recorded it sooner. Just a thing of focus, I would say. You get a lot of things going on, and you get busy, so it can be hard to focus on one thing at a time. But that's life in general. But I hope everyone is doing good. Had a lot of fun streaming lately. Been doing some really cool stuff in the stream, so I've been really excited for that. Let's go ahead and grab Duplicator. I like Duplicator in this situation. Still not trying to do, I guess, the 6 evols, although Lightning Ring would be really good in this. So we can go ahead and grab Lightning Ring. I don't expect to get 6 evolutions as much as I would like to. I think the thing I want to do is get some upgrades going, and then we'll make our way and try to grab some stuff. Let's go ahead and grab Santa Water. I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is the best plan. I think after this I want to try to get the whip so I can get a health gain kind of going in online. Because after that I don't think this is the worst case scenario where I'm presenting a bunch of stuff I don't want. Let's grab wings, I guess. I know it's on the map, but I never go out of my way to grab the wings on this map. But maybe it'll come in handy getting the hustle on going and grabbing the coffin and the, I think it's the galactic map on here. Which, bravo for the joke of, it's the dairy plant. So let's put the galactic map there. Milky Way, lactose, all that. It's a pretty smart joke, I feel like, on their part. Yeah, I hope your day and week is going well. On Saturday, we watched Memories of Murder, which I did not expect that movie to be as tough of a watch as it turned out to be. Like, It was one of the best movies I've ever watched, and also one of the most depressing movies I've ever watched. It was a tough movie. It was a tough movie to get through. It was also probably one of the best movies I've ever watched. So I like when movies are difficult like that. They challenge you. They can be, and when I say challenging, like emotionally challenging to watch. Like after I finished the movie, I went and took like a hot bath and cried. Like it was that. That's how I felt. It is just this horrible thing that happened, and you know, whether it's systematic failures of the police or gaps in technology of not being able to catch this guy sooner, is crazy. It's so well shot. It is, I would say, a cinematic masterpiece. I was shocked at how refined and mature that movie was in comparison to Barking Dogs Don't Bite, which was Bong Joon-ho's first movie. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start trying to make our way towards these items. Because I know Barking Dogs Don't Bite was Bong Joon-ho's first movie, and I know where the problems are. I actually don't think it was as bad. I thought it was a fun, little weird, quirky film, but I also get it might not have been the cinematic success like that, you know, people spending money and investing in a movie want to see. They want to see money. Oh, hold on a second, I'm drinking some coffee. It's still morning and it is coffee time. And so I get it. I really do, actually. I do want that. I think all I want now is the hollow heart, because I want to try to evolve the whip. That's always my fallback on, you know, having some insurance by life gain. You know. And so I was really impressed with it. I was impressed. I watched an interview where he's like, I have to get this right. If I fail on this movie, then I will most likely fail as a movie maker, as a director, and I don't think anyone will give me a chance to direct anything after that. And so that was a very mature position to take, to understand, like, he says in this interview that, you know, he was Barking Dogs Don't Bite was kind of this quasi-personal project, and was very much kind of inwardly focused, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but that can also make it difficult to translate into success for a filmmaker. So the focus became, I do have the galactic map now. So focus became, I need to make it about Korean identity. Which I think he did, because he encapsulated this horrible crime and its effects on the psyche and how it affected the people, and the people that were caught up, and the people that were unjustly accused, and how maybe there were gaps in the way it was investigated. I'm not saying it was wholly the detective's fault. It's just gaps in technology at the time for forensics and stuff like that. But also just this. I think sometimes, especially when a horrible crime has been perpetuated, people focus on trying to. Okay, so this is the list of enemies. So I don't. Okay, the question mark is going to be a coffin. All right, so we kind of make our way. We're covering a lot of ground today in this one. So it was good. It was just a stellar movie. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And yeah, be prepared to like feel like your soul has been crushed when you finish it, because that's the only way I can describe it. Like no happy ending. After watching that, I almost think it's a crime that I understand it's a very Korean movie, but I definitely also think the themes and whatnot are kind of universal. Like this idea of a horrible crime, police incompetence leading to a murderer essentially being able to get away with a crime for a long period of time. Those are I think almost these universal experience across any culture. And so I almost find it a shame that like it took until Parasite for Bong Joon-ho to win an Academy Award, where I think he could have easily gotten like the same recognition for this movie. I think it's up one more. We'll see if we can't get this coffin. Yeah, there we go. Or chicken. I need to maybe level up a bit more. Alright, here we go. These guys are not as strong as I'd like to think they are. Still looking for Hollow Heart here. Yeah, it was a really good movie. We will be watching The Host this week on Saturday, as this video is going up. Oh geez, did I die? I was not looking at my health. That was short. I don't want to end it. We'll go a little long. We'll try that again. I think maybe I pushed too fast, too hard. But let's spend that on like some recovery. And so yeah, that's what I wanted, was the whip. I never did get that Hollow Heart happening with me. I knew the garlic was a mistake, and I think it was. I think that's where I was having trouble. It was just sometimes, especially in early games when you don't have the skips and rerolls, like, you're just stuck taking shitty weapons. Fire Wand actually wouldn't have been too bad there. I could have taken the Fire Wand. I think it would have been fine. I think all the wands synergize nicely. I think Whip and Axe synergize nicely. I'm always a fan of the King's Bible because that's just nice to have. I think, especially as you get Spellbinder and, you know, things like the empty tome going. Those become super strong. Yeah, so we're watching The Host. This is one I've actually never watched, so I'm pretty excited for it. I'm gonna watch some movies today, some horror movies with my husband. I want that trapdoor, but I also want the empty tome. So I'm looking forward to that. I need to like build a list of directors and that I've been wanting to watch, and maybe do a vote on the Discord and see what we want to watch next. I haven't decided. But I'm also taking the position of sometimes you... Oh, my screen blinked out there for a second. Sometimes, like I was going to be watching the Bong Joon-ho movies anyway. That's something I've been wanting to do personally. And so, like, showing them on Discord and watching them with other people, that's more like, hey, I'm going to be watching this thing. If you want to watch it too, why don't you come along and join me? You know, you're more than welcome to join me. But it's like, I was going to be watching these anyways, and it's more like I'm just opening the door and inviting people, saying, hey, if you also want to watch this with me, cool, you can, but it's also like no pressure either, you know? Like, I'm not going to tell you, you have to come and watch this. It's like, no, I'm just going to be watching these fun, quirky South Korean movies that, you know, I want to watch personally, and if you end up wanting to watch it too, then maybe you come out and join the Discord and join the movies. Because frankly, I feel like sometimes you just gotta do a thing. You can't. I sat for a real long time questioning decisions and ideas and things I wanted to do for my channel, to the point where it's like analysis paralysis. Like, you know, I spent so much time thinking about things that I never actually followed through or got any of these things accomplished. And so I think it was nice to just say, like, no, I'm doing this. And, you know, people want to come along, cool. I'm trying to see what else I need. Hollow Heart. And I still have one weapon slot open. If I get the Fire Wand again, I'll get the Fire Wand. Let's just keep the Magic Wand going, because that's probably going to be one of the stronger weapons in my arsenal here right now. Coffee time while this is going. So yeah, and I'm gonna remind people, I am playing this on the Nintendo Switch. That's what this playthrough is about, is starting a brand new game of Vampire Survivors, but just kind of seeing how it plays on the Nintendo Switch. Haven't gotten to any of the parts where, like, I know slowdown will be occurring, but it's still very early on. There is the Fire Wand. We're going to go ahead and grab that. So now we're looking for the spinach. We're just... what augmentations I need. Spellbinder, which I don't actually think I have yet. Hollow Heart and spinach. So we might end up... We may end up getting screwed, and it just, like, here's 3 things that you don't need right now. And kind of forced me to take some. We'll go ahead and grab the Hollow Heart. I felt like it was a mistake not grabbing that sooner. But I feel like this run might be a little more solid. I'm spending a little more time in the starting area before going and getting that coffin. I think it was maybe a little mistake, or I went a little too early for that coffin. And that's on me. But yeah, I hope your holidays. I'm hoping to keep the uploads regular, but I know also with holidays coming up, there's going to be a lot of traveling involved and just craziness going on. And so if I miss an upload, bear with me, and I'll just go ahead and say I'm sorry, because I am likely to miss an upload here and there. I just have to kind of see how things go. Like I said, today is Thanksgiving. This is kind of all I have to do today. I realize I could put it off. I don't like recording this a day before, because it's like, I always have the fear, like, what if something goes wrong, or uploads take longer, and I don't get it up before I need to have it posted. And so, see, there we go. So what I am going to do is take the candelabra, because this is the best of the of these, since like I said, I don't think I actually have Spellbinder unlocked yet. I can take candelabra, that kind of fill it, and then I'm just looking for the spinach. It's always rough when it gives you like 2 of the things in the same go that you want. I don't know why I'm heading in this direction. I feel like this is the wrong direction if I'm going to be trying to eventually make my way to this coffin. Oh shit, I just spilled coffee everywhere. Hold on 1 second. Hopefully and I think most of it landed on my Joy-Cons too, unfortunately. Well, it's still working, so we'll find out here. Oh, I had to check. Like, I had to, every once in a while I have like this moment of like, oh shit, did I forget to press record? And so I have to like double check to make sure that yes, in fact, OBS is recording. I always have that fear, like I've forgotten. I'm gonna head down, grab one of these magnet orbs so I can kind of, oh, there we go. There's a magnet orb showing up for me. That's even better. Oh man, coffee got everywhere. I'm too used to drinking espressos, not a full-on coffee, apparently. That's how it goes. That's Thursday morning, right? I mean, it's no Monday, I guess. But I hope you have a good holiday. I hope your plans go well. Anyone who's flying or traveling, good luck. I know it's gonna be crazy. I just yesterday there was an explosion at one of the border crossings with US and Canada, and so they like stopped the flights at either Buffalo or Pearson. I don't know which, or maybe both. And I'm like, oh man, that's a busy weekend to get stranded. Which, yeah, I'm interested to see more about what this explosion was. Like, I saw the car, it went fucking flying through the air. I don't know what was going on, or if these guys had... I'm just curious. There's so many unanswered questions with it right now that I don't think they know what to make of it yet, or have figured out what this was. So I'm very, very curious to see what what actually happened or what they say happened. Oh, I feel like I'm still gonna have a tough time at this coffin. Need to probably spend some of the money on might and get my might level up so I can have a little bit more punch power. But we're getting there. We're almost, I think, to this coffin. Coffee time. Let's try not spilling it this time. Hey, successful. I did not make a complete and total mess. Oh, but now, like, my hand's like ever so slightly sticky and it's bothering me. I hate that. I'm still looking for spinach. It's being a real button and not giving me spinach. I should have taken it earlier when I saw it, but I had other things I could upgrade. And so I focused on that, I think. But let's get over to this coffin. I think I'm almost there. I should just be like here. Maybe down a little more. Let's see, do you have anything good for me, like post? You do have something good for me. Okay, and I think it's down, so I think it's sweet. Come around this corner and come down. Let's do fire one. Just try to kind of focus on damage. There's spinach. Alright, this is where I had trouble last time, so I need to really kind of watch my health and not make whatever mistake. I don't know, I just wasn't watching me, I was maybe watching the enemies on the screen. And that would have been on me. Those guys just did some damage. For failure to just kill them. And I think I gotta kill all the guards before I can unlock the coffin here. But we're just gonna try to be careful here. Watch her health a bit closer. And make sure I don't make game mistakes. Coffee time. Excellent. But I'm gonna make a ham later today. We're gonna have some ham. We're gonna make some applesauce, which I should probably start because I think that takes a while. Because I think you're pretty much just putting apples on a low heat and waiting for them to like break down. I don't know. I've never actually made applesauce from scratch, but I imagine the process is pretty easy. You're just adding maybe a little bit of moisture. Maybe I'll add a little bit of cognac or something to sweeten it up a bit. Give it a little boozy flavor. Alright. Oh, let's go ahead and do that. There is our person. Thank you, Imelda Bellpace, but the vampire is in another coffin. Papa Picorna? Popipa Picorna? I'm probably butchering that. If you're Italian, I apologize for my lack of being able to say anything with a quasi-Italian accent. I mean, the simplest thing would be to learn Latin, right? This is a pretty good build. I have everything to evolve my weapons except for one, and that's not a bad place to be. The question is whether I can get them evolved fast enough. I might try making my way over to one of those magnet orbs. Again, just try to soak up some of this XP that's lying around. I don't think I should have to go too far. I think it's pretty much I just go to the left here for a bit. I am wishing I had that speed up. The wings. The wings aren't too bad to have in an early game, but I just know they become useless once the enemies start becoming too dense, and it just slows you down. Yeah, so applesauce, mashed potatoes, and then the ham, we're gonna roast the ham and do like pineapples and sweet stuff and all that. I know like we couldn't get the highest quality ham, but we're just like, whatever. But my husband's cousin seemed really like, this is a shitty ham. I'm like, you don't have money, you don't get to, like, that sounds harsh. I don't mean that to be harsh like that, but it's like, look, things are on a budget. Maybe you don't understand that. Like, we can't go out and buy super high quality expensive ham like this year. Like, that's not in the budget. We're buying shit ham and we're eating shit ham, and we're going to make the best of our shit ham. It's as simple as that. Like, sometimes you're just stuck with a low quality ham, and you know, enjoy it. Enjoy what you have. Like, but he was like saying you boil this ham. I'm like, that sounds disgusting, like, to me, and I don't know if that's a thing they do here regularly. Like, again, I know it's a low quality ham, but boil it? That sounds gross. I think maybe if it was a salted country ham, you would kind of soak it or boil it to remove some water. And that makes sense because you do that with a country ham in the US. But I don't think this ham, it'll be stored in a brine, but I don't think it's going to be that salty that we need to pre-cook it. I think we should be able to get away with just roasting it. So I don't know. Like, this was also like the day before. This was a last minute decision to do a Thanksgiving dinner, because when you live abroad, you really become detached from the holidays and holiday traditions, because it's not so in your face. It's not at the forefront. I'm not inundated with like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" at every store I go to. And so like your priorities just shift. Your priorities shift. It doesn't become like, oh, we have to have Thanksgiving. You know, I would have liked to have done a Canadian Thanksgiving for my husband, but we literally like flew in that day. Like, there was no time to plan or cook or prepare anything. So it's like that just wasn't happening. And I knew, like, since that's at the beginning of October and mine's at the end of November, there would be more than enough time to do this. And so yeah, we're also gonna be traveling. Hopefully I can get enough uploaded to where essentially I'm not going to be able to stream for like a week, so I'm hoping to get enough coverage for that week with my YouTube uploads to cover me, because YouTube likes regular uploads. Without that, like, things can go to shit quick. Alright, I'm feeling good, maybe a little bit behind where I want to be, but I'm like kind of gaining levels pretty quick now. I'm actually inclined to go with this and increase area size on everything, because I think that will just help. And then, like, I know in the new year, we don't have plans for much of anything for a while until maybe sometime in spring and summer. I don't know what our travel plans are going to be or what things are going to look like. Like, no one can predict the future, really. But I think it'll be, for the time being, we just kind of hunker down, hang out, spend winter here, and hopefully spring and summer come along, and we just kind of see where things take us. There's no set plan here. You know, what happens happens. That's my attitude. So we're just gonna kind of see where things are in the new year. I don't know what travel my husband wants to do or places he might want to visit. I'm always up for going back to France. France and Paris was amazing, but I also know that's not the cheapest, and they're going to be hosting an Olympics this year, so that's also going to be like a whole mess. So it might just be easier to avoid France until after the Olympics. I love Paris. I love to go back to Paris too. The Louvre, you have the Louvre, you have everything. It's just amazing. It is a beautiful city. I think next time I go, I want to like dedicate a whole day to the Louvre. I've told my husband this because he kind of wanted to do other things the day that I was in the Louvre, and I get that. But I just felt like I could have definitely spent more time at the Louvre, because the Louvre is maybe, it's just, hold on a second. Big stretch, drink a coffee. I mean, there are, like, I think 2 museums that are top of the pyramid, top tier museums, and that is the British Museum and the Louvre. Don't get me started on all the stuff that probably needs to be repatriated. I think the French are probably a little bit more responsive when it comes to that. Looking at you, British Museum, and the Elgin marbles. I know that's been a thing between them and Greece for a long time. I think they could reasonably return the Elgin marbles, but they don't seem too pressed to return them, and I don't think they ever will. Maybe one day, who knows? But I think the British Museum is invested in keeping them. You know, like, no matter what they say, like, conditions Greece needs to do for their return, it's going to be good enough for the British Museum. They'll just keep making excuses of why they can't return them. And it's a little... I mean, I'm American, so I'm always familiar. Like, it's always ever present and familiar with me, and you know what we did to our indigenous populations, and cultural appropriation of artifacts. And this is something I've actually really given thought to. Like, nothing makes me sadder. Like, I think there's opportunity to learn, opportunity for education, but like, if I was some Egyptian dude that was mummified like 2,000 years ago, be like, well, I paid to be like buried in this place and not be fucked around with. I did not sign up to be housed in a museum for people to gawk at. But at the same time, I also get that there's an educational purpose to that. You know, it is the history of man on a larger scale. But I'm when I look at a mummy in like a museum or something, I'm always faced with the thought like, oh, this is a dude. This was a person. This was a person. They had their own life. They had family. They had this, that. You know, they were a person. And I think there's like this depersonalization that happens, especially in a museum setting, where I think we forget that these specimens, that's like me using sterilized language. Specimens, these corpses, these objects, they're people. They were people, they had a life, and I don't think they signed up for sitting in a museum. That being said, you know, being in a museum setting means their body will be preserved. They will have the best care. Their bodies won't deteriorate further, short of like there's some major problem that occurs that causes further damage to their body, but that seems unlikely. That being said, when I went to Europe, I know AC is not a thing, especially in like the older buildings, but I felt like I went to some museums in summer and I'm like, why don't you guys do climate control? Like, I feel like this is going to damage your specimens. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm not an expert on antiquities, but it's like, it seems like just having a bunch of antiques housed in like this really hot, like, you know, that kind of attic smell. Like that's what I felt like these museums smelled like. They had this attic smell because it's like it's filled with a bunch of old stuff, and it's hot, and people sweat. So it's like, I imagine there's a lot of humidity in the air, and it's like without the proper HVAC systems, like that's going to be a lot of oil, a lot of grease that's kind of like put out in the air. And would get over the objects and maybe cause damage, but again, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I know it's a dry heat here, and so like, I know I grew up in the American South, not South America, but the United States South, and it's just humid. It's hot and humid. AC is a way of life during the summer. And so I know that AC is a very uniquely American thing, or to the level that we do it. Like, you can get ACs in Europe. Don't think that I'm saying like Europe doesn't do AC. It's just AC in America is ever present. It's ice cold. I kind of have this running joke of like, Europeans just like being uncomfortable. I don't think that's the truth. I think they grow up with an understanding like, this is just how it is. Like, this is nature. This is reality. And reality is often uncomfortable. And so you just have to be uncomfortable sometimes. You just have to be hot. You just have to sweat sometimes. But it is shocking at the difference between what, like, I would say average life in Europe is versus average life in America. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I think they both do certain things very right. I find Europe probably does more things right than wrong. Coffee. This is running long. This is running longer than I want it to. I might cut off that first bit. Because like I said, this is already going a bit longer than I wanted to. I don't mind this taking the full 30 minutes, but I feel like there's people have a limited attention span, and it's hard to make content. Like I do think the 20-minute time is right. I know this game is 30 minutes, especially if I have a failed run, so it might just be that goes on the cutting room floor. I guess I'm just trying to be considerate of you and your time. It's not like I'm trying to make something in a hurry. I'm actually trying to do a good job and take my time making something, but I also understand, like, in this day and age, like, people have shit going on. They do not have time to, which is also why I've started doing 20-minute videos on my stream videos. It's like, people do not have time to sit there and watch an hour and a half video. But you know what? 20 minutes, around 20 minutes is a sweet spot. Like, people can stick around for that. If you're extra entertaining or the content is extra good, you can push it to you know, half an hour, maybe an hour. But I don't do super long form content like that. I'm not doing video essays. I'm playing video games and talking. I mean, as it is, I still have a video to record after this, and my voice is already getting a little hoarse. So that is just something I'm gonna have to deal with. Ooh, clover. Let's go grab that clover. That'll boost my lock skill a little bit. And for a while I struggled with, like, what makes good content, and I think the thing I've learned is, like, just do stuff and kind of learn as you go. I have. It's amazing, and like a lot of things have just kind of clicked in the last month or so, and I've just been really happy with the progress I've been making. I think what clicked for me was, like, actually editing Mario Maker videos. That really kind of helped me narrow my focus of how to edit out extraneous stuff in a video. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. I still have a lot to learn, but also I think it helps that right now my husband has a few, he doesn't have as many meetings, so I can actually, like, have more meaningful interactions with my chat and my streams, because that's a big part of running a stream on Twitch, is like, that there's a rule of what they call NST, never stop talking, you know. And there was actually a while there I was self-conscious to talk, but it's also I had issues where I was afraid to talk because I was afraid, like, whatever I said I'm going to be argued with about, or you know, someone's going to want to argue the point with me, and I kind of just gave up on, like, well, if someone wants to argue, they can argue, because every once in a while you just meet those people that no matter what you say, they feel you have you're wrong and they have to be right. And so I think it's important to learn to shut that down and just move the conversation along. Like, if I'm completely in the wrong, I get that, I understand that, I know that. And a big part of that is you just say, yeah, I'm wrong, you're right, and you move on. But when it dominates the conversation, it made me want to just kind of shut down and not even bother. So I am like been getting back, like it's a skill, like you almost have to learn and practice of like talking about whatever in lists. I think the easiest fallback is you just kind of talk about whatever the game you're playing. It's a little bit more difficult with a game like Tetris because you can definitely tell when I'm like talking to chat and when I'm focused on the game. When I'm focused on the game, I will not be talking. But I don't think that makes for the best viewer interaction. But it definitely makes it easier to, I don't know, it's like finding this balance of like good viewer interaction and as well as being able to play a game well enough that it's entertaining for the audience. So it's kind of balancing that. And that's why I say like a big part of streaming is viewer interaction. It's talking. It's also content quality and what you're doing. I'm still like, I feel like I'm still searching for a focus on my stream. I'm working on some things to help kind of encourage repeat viewership. And that does actually seem to be working. I still need to make adjustments to it. It's not perfect. But it is somewhere. It is started. And so I've just been like working on trying to improve content, improve interactions. You know, I felt like it would be a mistake to go back to Mario Maker and Tetris if I'm trying to build myself as a variety streamer. It's hard to build yourself as a variety streamer, especially when like the core audience I've already built up over time is so focused on Mario Maker and Tetris that it actually made more sense. I saw immediate improvements in follow ratings and interactions the second I started playing Mario Maker again, as soon as I started playing Tetris again. Like, it's just a funner time for me. Like, you know, it's good viewer interaction. I don't even like mind viewer levels. Like, I had probably, I think it was last week or the week before, I had the best Mario Maker stream ever. I played maybe 7 or 8, maybe 10. I don't know the exact number. I'd have to look back. And it was just one good level after another. They were like within my skill range. Nothing seemed crazy dumb hard that is like, oh, this is impossible. I will never do this. It all felt accessible to me. Alright, I gotta watch the time. So I'm still gonna grab this big sack of money, but as soon as they start pressing in and like my life goes down, I am going to switch over to grabbing that chicken. But I seem to be able to keep everything at bay right now. I think the King's Bible is doing a lot of work on that. Oh, there's Big Chungus. Hey there, Big Chungus. How are you doing, Big Chungus? Go away, Big Chungus. Oh, okay. Big Chunguses are moving in. We are now in place where I want to start taking, yep, 30 seconds. We got quite a few things. Found them. Find little clover. Big stretch. Lots of goodies. Lots of goodies. All right, I'm not going to belabor the point. If you made it this far, please consider like, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Have a good day. Have a good night. I hope to see you tomorrow. And you will see more Vampire Survivors bonus content. Thank you for joining me. Bye, everyone.